They said no girl in our land had ever said no to the king. No one ever dared. But that day, I saw it with my own eyes. And it shook the whole village. Her name was Abeni. A simple village girl, beautiful, kind, and full of life. She loved to sing at the stream and help others without expecting anything in return. Everyone in the village knew her gentle spirit. One sunny day, the king saw her at the market. Her laughter caught his attention. Her smile, bright like the morning sun, stayed in his mind. That very week, the king sent his guards to her home. They came with baskets of yams, gold jewelry, and fine wrappers. When Abeni's parents saw the gifts, they screamed with joy. They danced, clapped, and thanked the ancestors. Her mother said, "Abeni, you are blessed. You will be the queen of this land." Her father smiled proudly, "Our family will never suffer again." But Abeni didn't dance. She just stood there, staring at the ground. And then, in a quiet voice, she said, "But I don't love the king." Her parents froze. Her mother turned quickly. "What did you say?" Her father shouted, "Abeni, the king has chosen you." Abeni's eyes filled with tears. "Mama, Papa, the king is not kind. He takes from the poor and never gives back. His people fear him. I can't marry a man who makes others cry." Her mother begged her, "My child, think of us, think of the life we will live." Her father's voice grew louder. "Do you want to bring shame on this house?" But Abeni stood tall and firm. She said, "I want love, not fear. I want peace, not power." When the king heard that Abeni refused him, his pride burned like fire. He could not touch her, but he struck her family instead. He ordered that Abeni's parents should no longer receive any share of the village harvest. Their farmland was taken away, their names removed from the list of those who got food or help. Each time gifts were shared in the village, Abeni's family stood aside, watching others receive while their hands stayed empty. People whispered in pity, "They are paying for Abeni's stubbornness." But Abeni never cried. She worked harder, helping her parents find food with her own hands. Even in hardship, she held on to her choice and her dignity. When the king heard she still stood strong, he ordered that she be brought to the palace. That day, the whole village gathered. I was there, standing in the crowd, my heart beating fast. The king sat high on his stool, surrounded by his guards and elders. His face was hard and cold. He looked at her and said, "Abeni, do you refuse me, your king?" The air went silent. Even the birds stopped singing. Everyone waited to hear her answer. Abeni lifted her head slowly, her eyes clear and strong. She said, "Yes, my king. I refuse." The people gasped. Some covered their mouths. Others shook their heads. Everyone thought that was the end for her. But something unexpected happened. The king stared at her for a long time. Then his face softened. He sighed and said, "You are either the bravest or the foolishest girl in this land. But for your courage, I will not harm you. Go. Live your life." And just like that, she walked away. A simple village girl who said no to power and lived. Crescent moon months passed. The king had everything, gold, wives, and servants, yet his heart was never at rest. Meanwhile, Abeni worked hard. She started making handmade beads and taught other women how to trade too. People began to respect her more and more. One day, a man named Abeni came back to the village. He was a successful businessman from the city, known for his kindness and wisdom. He came to help the villagers build a new market. At the stream, he saw Abeni teaching some children how to make beads. She laughed, her hands busy, her heart full of joy. Abeni was amazed. He said, "You teach others. You don't just work for yourself." Abeni smiled and said, If I rise alone, it means nothing. We all must rise together. Obina couldn't stop thinking about her. Not just her beauty, but her heart. Soon, he asked for her hand in marriage. Hibiscus, their wedding day came. It was the most beautiful day the village had ever seen. Under a grand red and gold canopy, Abeni and Obina became husband and wife. The drums beat loudly. People danced and laughed with joy. Big men and women from far and near came to celebrate. Even the king himself came, not to command, but to watch. When he saw how happy and respected Abeni had become, he nodded quietly, not in anger, but in quiet respect. But deep inside, shame touched his heart, for he had once punished the very people now celebrating the biggest wedding the village had ever seen. Yet Abeni and her parents welcomed him warmly, honoring him as their king. Their kindness spoke louder than words. After the wedding, Obina took Abeni to the city. He showed her new places, beautiful gardens, and great buildings. He helped her start her own training center where she taught other women how to make crafts, manage businesses, and become independent. Abeni didn't just find love, she found purpose. Sparkles years later. Her parents, once poor, now lived in a fine house built by Abeni and Obina. They smiled every day, proud of their daughter. Her mother said, "You followed your heart, and it led you right." Her father nodded, "Now I see, not all riches come from gold and silver. Some come from peace and love." Headphone closing moral. Sometimes, saying no to what looks the brightest can lead you to what truly brings light. Abeni said no to power, and found love, peace, and happiness. Wow, what a story! If you enjoyed this one, don't just scroll away. Hit that like button to show some love. And hey, there are many more beautiful African stories waiting for you here on StoryLoom Chronicles. So make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell, so you don't miss the next tale. Tell us in the comments, what did you learn from Abeni's story today? Was it courage, love, or standing for what's right? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and remember, every story has a lesson, and every lesson has a little bit of you in it. See you in the next story.